Yeah, that's
Constantly
If
denying
we
yourself.
break God's heart,
every
somebody
day.
breaks God's heart like every second.
You can't manage that.
You can't manage that.
Yeah, that's different.
You want to be patient, like Mom said, we did have
Not
patience.
Job, them this
Job,
situation.
you have patience like Job. Job lost everything.
Everything. Yo, yo, yo. We're glad to have you guys in this great space. We are your hosts.
Mandy.
And Candace.
Brandon, thank you guys all for liking, sharing, subscribing, getting the videos out there on a daily basis. We appreciate love and support from the bottom of our hearts. I think that's just our thing now.
From the
Yeah.
bottom of
From
our
the bottom
hearts.
of our hearts, yeah.
Guys,
Feliz
it's almost
Navidad.
Christmas time, you know?
Man,
I love Christmas. I love Christmas so much. That's my favorite time of
It's
year.
not Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. The
From
verse
the bottom of my
the
heart.
day is
All right, the verse of today is taken from Philippians 4, verses 8. Well, verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things.
yo.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right.
Amen.
If anybody used to listen to RJR back in the day when Markman was on, Markman and
yeah.
Bergaman, that was how he used to sign out of the Two Life crew. Whatever things
Yeah, the
are.
good old days.
Yeah.
All right. So, boys and girls, we have something juicy for you guys today.
Is it?
Really?
I don't know. It's as juicy as how much you squeeze it.
Oh,
That's what I don't know. So,
jeez.
we have Christian cliches. You know, the ones that you
Yeah.
guys normally hear at church. And we're
Yeah.
going to talk about it. We're going to yap.
Is that the only thing we're talking about?
We'll
no.
see. We'll see
there's-
where
This
the current
episode
takes us.
is one of those episodes,
We're just
guys,
yap.
where we're just gonna yap it away. You know?
Yeah,
We're
you
just
guys
gonna
get to
talk really what's on our mind.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that we don't know we have nothing else.
We have, but it's
It
just
doesn't
that
mean that, but you know.
We're
we-
going by how the Spirit leads. Yeah.
yeah, we're just moving
Yeah.
differently today.
God is moving.
Do you think you have a Bible verse that defines who you are?
Mm, yeah.
That defines who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Defines?
Defines.
Or represents you?
Jeez. That's a hard one to pin down. I have some that I live by.
That's not what you ask.
Then you answer the question, sir.
All right, so Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. I think that I guess that one with this
That
would-
defines you, or
would
is that
kinda
something that
define
you
me.
live by?
Not something that defines me actually.
Okay. Just checking.
No,
Yeah.
would something that defined you be something that you live by? Would it correlate?
To define means to give meaning, right?
Yeah.
And to what's the other one? Live by.
It's
to,
like a
to live by
principle.
is something that you continually practice.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's something that you practice. Proverbs
Yeah.
4:23.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I think so. What's yours?
Hold on, I'm checking.
She goes out into the fields and
No,
buys.
I know what it is. It's just that sometimes I have a tendency to mix up numbers. But it's Romans 12, verse 18. If it be possible, with as much as life in you, live peaceably with all men. That's something that I live by.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it just helps me to remember, I think, just how many precautions or how many clauses it goes in before live peaceably with all men. If it be possible, then
Yeah,
with
yeah.
as much as life in you. So it just helps me to remember you're not going to get along with everybody.
True.
But sometimes it's not always possible, hence the if.
Yeah.
If it be
Yeah.
possible. And with as much as life in you, what you have in yourself, as much as you can manage to do, live peaceably with all men. Sometimes it's not always going to be possible, and sometimes it's going to take more than what you have within yourself. But the end goal is to always live peaceably with all men. So yeah, that's the verse that I live
Jeez,
by.
I'm put on very deep. Now I'm kind of feel bad about mine because it's shallow.
No. Just give us whatever your verse is fine.
Mine is Matthew 5, verse 16.
Oh, that go.
Let your lights
Oh,
so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think
Like that one probably is the essence.
Of what we should be.
What
as
we should be.
Christians.
yeah, I feel like that defines me in that case, and also because I kind of see myself as a light, or I've been told a lot that I often bring some sort of light or joy to some people.
Okay.
So I hold that compliment in high regards. That's people would view me as that type of person to be like a sunshine to a cloudy day. So
Yeah. Have a verse, and you can let us know in the comments what verse you live by, what verse defines you. Let us know what some of your favorites are, and we can keep up that conversation.
Yeah.
But just before we had come before the camera today, we were having a discussion earlier about some Christian cliches, as Brandon had touched on. And one of them was the
Touched on.
one of them was the Proverbs 31 woman. And now it's all lovely and fine and dandy to think you are said lady. It has
said wife.
Yeah, it has become a cliche in a sense because everybody likes to think that they are. But how many of us really are ready and willing to be this so-called Proverbs 31 woman? Everybody have it up on them Instagram bio.
Proverbs 31 woman.
Yes, that they are such a woman. And we're going to just look at who this lady is supposed to be.
Okay.
Because I think sometimes we speak certain things over ourselves, not knowing what it is that we're asking for, or not knowing what kind of a path we're being expected to go down when we say these things about ourselves.
True.
And also, should we be saying these things about ourselves, or should they be spoken over us?
Through.
All right.
Through our falls.
Through.
So we're going to touch on it. So the Proverbs 31 woman, of course, Proverbs 31, and we're going to start at verse 10. So it says, a wife of noble character, who can find? She's worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She is like the merchant ships, bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. Her arms are strong for her tasks. She sees that her trading is profitable, and her lamp does not go out at night. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She makes coverings for her bed. She's clothed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She's clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. And that is a Proverbs 31 woman.
Okay, so ask yourself now if you have it in your bio, if you are that. I'm going to give you a moment. Hold that, please.
Are you really the Proverbs 31 woman? Are you prepared?
That's a lot of things in it.
It is.
Make clothes and sell them.
Make clothes. Getting up early in the night to ensure that your household is fed. You don't eat the bread of idleness.
Mm.
While I do understand that these are things to go and to strive for, I think people just take it as any old saying, oh, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. Sis, you don't have the discipline that auntie having this.
I feel like a lot of people don't read it out fully.
They don't.
A lot of people's favorite verse in this is she's clothed with strength and dignity and she laughs at the future.
Okay.
And
She laughs at the future.
Yeah, at the days
she
to
laughs at the
come.
days to come. And the other one that say
Charm is
deceptive and beauty is fleeting.
Yeah.
But a woman who fears the Lord must be
Must
praised.
be praised.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of people, like with many passages in the Bible and many verses, we tend to skip over the ones that are super important
Yes.
and go to the one that's been uttered the most.
The ones that
Or
are
the
more
ones-
affirming for you.
Yeah, the ones that sound good to you. Like,
Yeah.
this sound like a good quote I can post over on Instagram today.
Almost sounds like
Or
she's
something.
a packed week every week.
Yeah.
This sound like a good tattoo. Like, yeah, this
because my
this
girl I
is
make
good.
sheet and them thing there.
right.
She buy a vineyard. And
She's
yet she-
working vigorously.
Yeah, she buy-
How many of you
Eat your
dream of
hands.
labor? None of you don't dream of labor.
How is she buying vineyard and making sheet?
Yeah,
If you can buy a
That's
vineyard, why
crazy.
y'all make
You
sheet?
can imagine her fingertips them
listen,
making sheet.
Auntie found things for herself to do. She was on top of every single thing in her household. Some of us are still
children.
living with our parents and not on top of our rooms.
Her children calls her blessed.
Yes.
Are your children calling you that today?
And her husband gets up and praises her. There's a lot that is expected or required of the Proverbs 31 woman. And I'm going to say honestly, I don't think I'm willing at this age and stage to do all of those things. I'm not going to lie. My parents
Honesty.
can tell you I love my sleep. So to get up in the middle of the night to look for food for everybody.
That's what I say about being a parent, you know. I am not ready because I know I am super selfish with my time and what I do.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine on a Saturday morning when I don't have work, 6 o'clock, somebody barges into my room. Mommy, I'm hungry. Can I get some breakfast, please? Brother, what? I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
It's like
man.
things like I know it sounds immature, but my
it's an honest
mental
reaction.
capacity
Yeah.
is not ready for that.
Yeah, it's your honest
I am
reaction.
barely feeding me when I am hungry. How am I going to take
Exactly.
care
Yeah.
of a small human being that depends 100%
On you.
Yep.
on me?
Yep.
I come home from work, I'm tired, I just want bed and go sleep. When I come home from work, I have to go look about dinner, assist with the homework,
Yeah.
get things ready for school the next morning.
Yeah.
In addition to building you a solar system that due at the end of the week.
Yeah.
I can't manage.
I think the Proverbs 31 thing, well, I would say it's a good what you can say now. I think persons take that chapter or the few verses and they look at it as the standard. And you could say that it is kind of something like that.
Yeah.
But it word for word, I don't know how many people these days are making sheets. I don't think everybody's an Ara Smith.
Well, not in
That's
the
true.
literal
No,
sense.
not every girl is an Ara. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's something that you can when they said that she is noble in character.
Yes.
Yeah, stuff like that you guys can take out and
We
apply
can
it
find,
to your
you know.
life. But buying vineyards, unless you have the money to buy a
Yeah,
vineyard,
'cause
man,
it's-
sure.
It's
But
like,
that simply
yeah.
speaks to, as you were saying,
Investments.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry for cutting you.
That's all
Simply speaks to you putting in some of the work yourself. A Proverbs 31 woman is not somebody that depends 100% on her husband. She is somebody that also puts in the work for herself.
Yeah, the man
Yeah.
probably gone a war.
Yeah.
So I come back, you see me.
She
the-
have to do
yeah.
she have to do things for herself, and things have to come from it because she considers a field and by it out of her earnings she plants a vineyard. So she have to put in the work and then get investment fees
Yeah.
for something else come outside so it can benefit other people.
Yeah.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, so you guys can take the verse. You can take them literally and adapt them to your adapt them to your life in a way that can work for you. But I think
the Proverbs, to me, the Proverbs 31 woman sounds like a very seasoned lady. To me.
but the
Not
thing-
saying that she can't be somebody that's young, but she has to be somebody that is seasoned in life. Because you have some people who are young, but them live like 10 different life already, you know.
Yeah.
It sounds like somebody, to me, who is seasoned.
But I mean, if
somebody
you
who
want
has
to get there-
wisdom, not just knowledge, but wisdom to properly use the knowledge that they have to ensure that all of these investments that they're making is fruitful. Because she's investing into her children, she's investing into her husband, she's
Right.
investing into the land and her labor that is being done for it to benefit her family. She's making sacrifices.
Yep.
She's making sacrifices for the benefit of others. Auntie is doing a lot.
You see?
It is. The
It
verses
is.
literally say, after them say, she considers a field, buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night.
Yeah.
I don't think it's
It's-
a lot per se. I was thinking it's for the ones who are able to do what the scripture says they'll be able to do it.
I know, but
And for the ones who don't want to, choose not to, or can't do it, then that's okay. But
I know,
for
I'm
the
just saying
person
it is a
described
lot.
in this, I don't think it's necessarily a lot. If you can't do it, that's fine. But I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's a lot for Naira Smith to do what she needs to do.
No, you know
It's
why?
not-
But I don't think it's
She is encouraged in a way, not that the man has said to her, say, hey, do this.
yeah.
But she is so loved in a way and cared for in a way that out of the kindness of her heart, where it's not a chore for her, she is propelled to do these things. It's kind of like us and God. We continue giving God his due diligence, and he's going to continue showering upon us. So like her family, her husband continues to shower her in love and care
and praises, yeah.
and praises. And so in turn, for the love that she has for them, she does these things.
But I also think she's taking initiative. She's
Of
also
course.
taking initiative.
Because some things, like if you watch a video with her, she just randomly say, my husband's coming home from wherever today. Let's make him something that's his favorite. And she does it from scratch.
Yeah.
So
As I
it's
said,
things like that.
I don't see anything wrong with the verses or anything wrong with persons if they want to try to emulate it, because at least there's a standard that they're trying to live by.
Yeah.
We're not saying anything
Nothing
is
no wrong with that.
It's just if you claim to be a Proverbs 31 woman,
Yeah, but
Take
you
a-
need to know
yeah.
exactly
Yeah.
who
Take
you
a
are
step
claiming
back
to be.
and evaluate if you're really that kind of.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you should. But
And
I
ask yourself if you really want to be that guy when you're done, or that girl. Because when you read
Precisely.
through everything that you have to do, it's okay if you feel like at the end of the day, say, yo, I can't do this.
as I say, when
It's
people
backed up.
I say, when people get into relationships and certain things, depending on what the person means to them and who they are, people will do what is necessary
Yeah.
to keep their partners there, and not just to
Yeah, go
keep,
ahead.
and not just to keep their partners, but to not even just to maintain, but it's just because who they are to them, they will do whatever. So I don't think whatever the Proverbs says or whatever it is, I don't think it's hard. I just think that she's willing to do this because her man is him.
And
Plain
that's
and
the turn.
straight.
But that's the verse say too. He is respected
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's
in the
it.
city.
That's it.
He's
That's it.
respected, so he's him. So,
if you're-
she's
yeah, so if you're not him, you're not getting that treatment. It's just plain and straight. She not cook no food for you, brother.
You
Think
just
food you
narrowed
gonna
it
eat.
down.
Mackerel and ripe banana.
Maybe it's time for the guys to take a step back. If you're not getting something that you
Yeah.
feel you should be getting, maybe you're not him.
No. All right. So when it, no. I was going to agree because that's true. Because like some guys will complain that she not do this and that, and it's plain and straight that you're just not who she wants. In really and truly. In the
Yeah.
real grand scheme of things, you're just not who she wants.
Because if you did
Yeah.
want something for somebody, that just do it.
Yeah,
But if
yeah.
I think sometimes us as ladies, and just people in general, if you don't feel your efforts being reciprocated, you're just not going to continue. You don't have the motivation to continue. Just like Mandy said with the woman being praised, she now wants to go out and continue to do the things that she has been doing. But if your efforts aren't being reciprocated, it's just going to be like, okay, brother. Or sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes you just don't feel as if this person is worth that effort.
Yeah.
Because it's just like you realize that this person is just not used to that kind of thing, or you're not used to that kind of thing, or having to put in that level of effort.
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, fine. They use Starbucks food, you go buy a box food. You don't need me to cook, you go buy a box food. Because you
So,
are a
yeah.
box food boy.
Yeah, it's
But if
just-
you want me
yeah.
to cook your food, you need to understand that you need to act like the man of the house. So if you want to cook food,
You
act
have to do
accordingly.
things that deserve cook food.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just plain and straight.
And
And
that's,
if you're
that's
not
different
if you're- yeah.
for different persons. For some persons, it can take the form of monetary support. For some persons, it can take the form of emotional support or spiritual support, because it's one thing to provide money, but in the Christian sense, it's another thing to be a priest of your household.
What you know about that?
Huh?
What you know about that?
They always say that the man is head of the household, the man is supposed to be the priest. You're supposed to be the spiritual leader within your household. Not to say that, oh, you must be the loudest when you're praying, or everybody's supposed to sing when you read the scripture or whatever. But you should be the one that calls the family together. You should be the one taking initiative, ensuring that you and your children and your wife, or your soon-to-be, or whoever you see a future with, you should be the one leading the charge, saying like, hey, let us go to the house of the Lord. Like, it's time for us to, when trouble strike, what are you doing, sir? Are you not calling us to pray? Are you not coming with your anointing oil saying, okay, it's time for us to pray? You get me? What are you doing as a priest? Because while we're sitting and talking, there's a Proverbs 31 woman, but I was thinking to myself, is there a male equivalent? So like how there's just the whole chapter there,
Well, you have
or
the
the
different-
verses there.
You have the
I was
different-
thinking to myself, what could I say based on just my knowledge? Not to say I have not read the Bible from back to front, just based on my knowledge. What would be the male equivalent? And that would be it for me. Are you being the priest of your household? Are you leading household, not just to say you live with a man, but to say, or your future household, your potential household, this person that you're involved in? Are you being the priest? Are you strong to be able to take on the spiritual matters of your family? Are you there, big man? And if you're there, you can get a plate. Respectfully. If you're there, you can get a plate. Yeah. Because as Christians, we should be looking for something more than just the physical. Not saying physical things like being able to provide a stable home or a stable financial situation or the other necessities of life isn't important. But we don't just live for this life alone. We live for our eternal life and our time with God and our time with Jesus. And it's just like, sir, me can't row and you are, what is it, drill hole or something? In the ship of life.
Yeah.
We can't be unequally yoked. You get me? So, sir, I'm over here investing, me I buy vineyard and me I make up sheet and your name is being praised in the streets.
Can you imagine
but
that?
Imagine.
Yeah, buy vineyard and other things. Yeah, make money from the vineyard, and the man take the money and go out gambler or something like that.
Exactly. And
Unequally yoked, man.
It can be quite unfortunate. But yeah, I think dating in the Christian space is quite interesting.
I think
is quite
it's
interesting.
very complex in terms of all the things that you have to. Huh?
Mm.
I don't think it's complex.
I don't mean in terms of dating is hard, but all the things you have to
You deal with.
not even okay deal with sounds so negative. Like
No,
It's everything you have to uphold.
Uphold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think the.
It's different for everybody.
Alright.
Right.
What I'll say is that it's. I remember. I think I was telling the youth. Was telling the youth at church. Some of them I was telling them that once you're a Christian, your dating is going to have to be different for you.
Yeah.
Dating is going to be different for you. I don't think some of them really understood what I meant. And as a Christian, your ideal reason for dating is for marriage. I'm
Yeah.
just keeping it plain and straight.
Yeah.
I'm not dating no girl just to talk. her
Just
to
for
death.
dating sake.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't have time to waste. You see me?
Yeah.
So it's either marriage or with friends.
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense with boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm literally just going to talk it to death. So like, if you can think about it from that perspective, then you'll be better off. And then if you're a Christian and you're keeping your relationship with God, and that's your focal point, I think you should make that very clear. And even with some Christians, not all of them are at the same level as you are,
Yeah.
but like the same way, the same thinking, same thing, and the way how they reason. Because not every Christian can think objectively.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
if you don't have the right mindset for it, instead of you just going one time and finding Joseph, you go pass through Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and the
Yeah.
angel with it there with them in the fire
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
you end up on somebody.
Yeah.
But I think when you really approach it with the correct mindset and you talk to God and say, God,
Yeah.
I'm in it to win it. This is like what I'm here for. Then I think we'll work out something together and then we'll send the person who is supposed to be your eternal partner.
I think that based on my experience of dating or interacting with men within Christendom, I think that has been the greatest test of my ability to give grace and acknowledge that I think sometimes when it comes to dating, as a Christian with a fellow Christian, sometimes I have fallen into the trap of forgetting that this person is also a human being. So it's almost as if I know you're a human being, but you say you're a Christian. So, certain things aren't supposed to be a problem, but they're still a human being. So you still encounter certain issues that you would have thought wouldn't have been an issue just because they said that they're Christian. And figuring out now how to navigate that space as to how to not be a stumbling block along their journey can also be an issue. And I don't think it's talked about much.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
though,
'cause
you would think you're doing everything right,
Yeah.
but you never know what's going on in the other person's head. So you're doing everything to prevent
Yeah.
becoming a stumbling block.
Yeah.
When the
And-
brother you just a buck him to in I'm brain, whole heap.
Yeah, and he's telling you, and then you talk, but see, he's supposed to do better.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really
know
do
this.
sometimes forget
Yeah.
the human parts.
A man is a man is a man, and a woman is a woman is a woman.
When I fully, if you say when I fully be like, no, brother, but shut up in a dog. Like, who you talking
Yeah.
about?
Sir,
Like, yeah, but like,
there is no
brother.
temptation that's put upon us that isn't common to man, whether you're Christian or not. So certain things can still affect you while you are a Christian, and then that now makes me wonder: are you really ready for dating? I think within Christendom, marriage is placed at a high standard, and that is okay and that is acceptable. Not everybody's meant to be married, which I think is also something that people are still touchy about. Not everybody's meant to be married, but marriage is important. And because marriage is important, we see being in a relationship as important. And we don't necessarily take the time to prep ourselves to be in a godly relationship. Not saying that your thorn shall be removed from you.
You know, that reminds me of the girls on Instagram and TikTok talking about they want to be in a godly relationship.
It's like,
Do
auntie, you
you?
don't know what
Yes.
that means?
Do you know what that means?
And they're like, yes, I want, my God, I'm just waiting on my godly husband
Or my
to come.
man of
And
God.
It's
I'm
a
just like,
struggle.
Them, you know what ticks me off? I'm waiting on my Boaz.
Yes, please.
People say that these days.
Yes.
Yeah, boys.
But do you understand that you've got to be a Ruth? You got to go out there. You got to clean. You got to work for that. Are you listening to the right Naomi?
How about you
Boaz?
just wait on your Kevin or your Sheldon
Sheldon. Yeah.
or your Dave?
Sheldon. I haven't heard that name in a while.
Because
I need to meet one.
Cheers.
You need to meet a Sheldon?
Yeah, Sheldon.
I don't think I've ever met a Sheldon.
I think I met one in high school, but it's like probably short.
Cheers.
Yeah, Sheldon.
But yeah.
So, are you a person of God's? Are you a man after God's own heart?
Oof, that's another one.
Are you a man after God's own heart?
That is
You know, because I love to talk about David was a man
that gets
after
thrown
God's own
around.
heart. But are you a man after God's own heart?
Listen.
Do you think you're somebody after God's own heart?
I-
Despite what David has done, kill a man, kill a man,
Yeah.
adultery, murder.
Had a
You
child, like a lot was happening with David back then. And I think, I don't know.
Are we really people after God's own heart?
Yeah, I don't know. I have a thing about people saying things about themselves.
And
Like
correlating to a disciple?
Like proclaiming that they are so and such and such and such
But
and such.
it's just like I was saying with you guys. When you're doing it that way, you have to really take a step back and say, am I really this person?
Where is this pride, bro?
Yeah. Where that thin line between, you know, praying that you become this person
And doing it.
and actually doing it.
yeah.
Where is that line? And it's just like that theory I was saying. If someone says, tell me about yourself, you don't jump to giving adjectives to describe you. You don't say, well, Jamaican's favorite adjective, I'm a jovial person and whatever like that. You immediately go into
I'm eager to learn.
your basic information. Well, my name is such and such. I am this year's old.
45.
I was born here. This is my job.
Lindsay
This is
Kingston.
what I do. My hobbies include. You don't go into, well, you know, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman.
Yeah, I'm a man after God's
I'm
own
a
heart.
man after God's own
Yeah,
heart.
Paul knows about
I
me.
am a spiritual filled person.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. That's usually given when somebody describes you.
You, yeah,
Because if
yeah.
somebody should come to you and say, tell me about Brandon, I can say, well, you know, Brandon's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Brandon do this, Brandon do that. He's jovial, like Jamaicans say. Him nice. Him always there at church. Him can play good. Them kind of something there. That's what you would say.
Yeah.
But then you would be able to say, okay, other persons have looked at me and said, boy, you know, you really fit the criteria
Yeah,
of that
yeah.
because
Yeah.
they have a view, an entire view to step back and look at
Yeah.
you and analyze who you are, whether with your knowledge or without your knowledge, versus you live with yourself. You are there with yourself 24/7.
Yeah.
You can delude yourself enough to think
Yeah.
that you're really that girl or you're that guy when you're really not. So it's important.
You're not, buddy.
That's why when you have the reference for a job, it's not from a family member
Yeah.
or you write something about yourself.
Yeah.
It's always from somebody that has
Seeing you
seen you
in the element, right?
exactly to
Yeah.
know what kind of person you are in X environment.
True.
Are you able to really adapt under pressure?
Yeah.
Are you really a team worker? Are you really somebody that can take
you-
criticism?
Are you
Critical
trustworthy?
thinker.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't
No.
really make these
Claims.
claims for
Proclamation.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's. I think
Yeah,
that's right.
because
Yeah.
it's even in the Bible. Because while we're talking, I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I found this verse. It's Proverbs 27, verse 2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth. A stranger, and not thine own lips.
Right.
And-
Because pride comes in really quickly.
Yeah, you're finished. Because it's the same thing where Jesus said, "If you love me, keep my commandments."
Yeah.
And it's like it's through your actions it will show exactly who you are. It's really through your actions. So you can say that I'm a goofy person, I'm the funniest person in the room, and you're really not. You could say
No, you're not.
you could say you love God with everything, and God is like, hold up, Michael,
know you?
know him? He's like, Michael, who's this? You see me? So it's
Who's he talking about?
yeah,
Me?
who's talking? Yeah,
Sorry to
Can't
say,
be.
yeah.
I don't know this man.
It's the same thing. So like, it's to say that for me to say that I'm a man of God's own heart. I think you have to think about like what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's other ways to say it. You could simply just say, you know, I love God and I'm trying to be the best
Yeah, I get it.
follower of Christ. I'm trying to
Yeah.
be the best disciple.
Yeah.
I'm trying. If you say you're trying, that makes all the difference because we know we're human and we have our mistakes and our mess ups. But the mere fact that you're trying every day to be in his image and his likeness, to be who he created us to be, that's saying a lot. But to just blatantly come out and say, well, yeah, I'm this,
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's,
I'm
you know,
that, and
yeah.
I'm that guy, and I'm that girl.
Yeah, it's
and God is
just-
probably looking at you like, you're not? Are you really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. The him and the angels looking down like,
What's
I'ma
he
say,
talking
I
about,
just like,
bro?
our name even dip on the list. We should talk about.
not in the Lamb's book of
I'm saying-
life. Yo, you see your name?
Where,
No.
where name? We say our last name there. And you search and say, probably
Yeah.
alphabetical order, first name. Go back
Yeah.
round, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And you flip and you say, our face not there, our
Yeah.
name not there on the
Yeah,
page.
yeah. Her name is.
And they say, we don't know she.
We don't know her. Brianna. You see BR? You see her? No. Yeah. So it's and that's all jokes aside.
I think you can't joke around with them kind of proclamation
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Like it's different saying like you know you're a good friend because you can back it up and your friend them can back it up.
Yeah.
Once you have somebody can vouch you for say
A good
yeah
youth.
you're a good youth
Yeah.
and something, then
Yeah.
you know you can say alright yeah we come up whole heap
Yeah.
of people will say
Yeah.
man Brandon a good youth, Brandon know for doing thing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, but if you come in at my space and say I'm an awesome friend, I always do this, and your friend never say you what me did call pan for support me and my team,
Yeah.
and you never show up. But then when my thing bust way,
Yeah.
you jump in my circle like say I know you from a long time. Yeah, so
Yeah. So it's.
I like one of them things there.
And oftentimes the persons that have those things to say about themselves, sometimes they tend to overcompensate in their language about themselves to say that they are this and they're that. I'm super successful and da 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 da.
You're lying
I'm
on your
just like,
resume.
Sir?
Lying on your
Ma'am?
resume.
I think sometimes we should be careful. Like we say, be careful. We say those things over ourselves, but like
Yeah.
I don't in like the hindsight. It's nothing. Alright, so it's nothing wrong to say that. If you want to be a man after God's own heart, I'm just gonna put it into perspective that they consider David to
A
be
man after God's
like they
own
consider
heart.
Abraham. Was it Abraham? Was God's friend a friend of God, or is it Noah?
Whoa, man, I think I know.
Think it was
Is
think it
that
was
Abraham or Moses?
Abraham or Noah was a friend of God. Like, no, to be God's friend, that's a different relationship
Yeah.
right there, you know. But at the same time, I'm not gonna say you shouldn't try for that. But at the same time, you need to think about the persons who they use, who are the
The models?
the adjective, what's the other thing? The subject.
What?
You have the adjective. The adjective.
The
What's
subject.
Yeah, it
the
describes the subject
yes.
of the sentence.
So yes. So whatever the adjective is, find out what the subject is. Find out who that person is and what they had to go through to be
Yeah.
considered that person.
Yeah.
Because we love to talk about yes, make me a Jeremiah. Excuse me, sir.
Oh,
Make me Isaiah. What
Or
you
you're a
say?
Job. When people say them a Job, I
Yeah,
said, do you
you're not
know who Job
Brother,
is?
you're not Job, brother. You're not.
Do you know who Job is?
I want to be a Joseph, brother. Take
You
time.
know what it
Take
remind me
time.
of? That
Take time,
parable
sir.
that we had discussed about the banquet.
Yeah.
That last line, very important. Many are called,
But few
but
are-
chosen are few.
Yeah, chosen
You have to-
few.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I just realized
Yes.
something. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's have to.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't try for those things, but I'm saying at the same time, do your research, put some context in,
Yeah.
and then you put it in the right. But yeah, you have to be very. They say there's some prayers you have to be very. You have to be careful what you
what
pray
you
for.
ask for.
Okay, if you pray for patience, God go. I'm gonna show you.
You're
gonna
gonna
say-
get
get
situations to
tried.
test your patience.
Yeah,
They're
he's
going
gonna
to get tried.
You
Hello?
pray. Yeah, you pray for certain things.
Or God give me a heart like thine.
Bongo straight.
That is
Brother. man, I'm gonna tell you, no, brother.
Have a heart like God.
Have a heart like God.
It's like
mash up.
eternal struggle with your own
Brother,
self.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Constantly
If
denying
we
yourself.
break God's heart,
Every
somebody
day.
breaks God's heart like every second.
You can't manage that.
You can't manage that.
yeah, that's different.
You want to be patient like Mom see who did have
Not
patience.
Job, them listen
Job,
patient.
you have patience like Job. Job lost everything.
Everything.
You want patience like Job.
Job.
You want wisdom like
You want
Solomon.
wisdom.
You
Brother,
people.
brother, you
people.
Don't want wisdom like Solomon.
went through
He
a
was
lot.
going through it.
yeah.
Solomon made himself into an experiment. And if you've ever read the book of Ecclesiastes, he turned himself into an experiment. He said there was nothing his eyes wanted that he didn't give to it. Nothing that his body wanted that he didn't give to it. Just to test and see if there's any kind of fulfillment under this sun, as in just in this life alone. He put himself through the ringer to let you know what it's actually going to be about. So if
Exactly.
you want wisdom like Solomon, are you prepared?
You don't want wisdom like Solomon.
With great knowledge come great sorrow in my
Precisely.
If you want that,
Solomon said that.
You see me? You
It's
see
a
me,
lot
man?
to go
It's a
through.
lot.
You want to be a Queen Esther. Are you
Ooh.
ready to come before people of authority without being called upon?
Are you ready to die for your
this cause?
people?
For such a time as
Are you ready
this,
to
auntie?
die?
Are you
Yeah.
ready? Please.
Yeah, so you guys have to be very
I don't
careful.
think there's nobody in the Bible who had to subject some sort of something to get to where they were at.
You
Yeah.
had to go through trials.
You
bro.
had to go through it.
You sure you want strength like Joshua? Bear in mind, every time Joshua had to go out and go to war with the different people, the Lord said, "Do not be afraid, for I have
Yeah.
given them into your hand." Every time, which means Joshua was proper scared.
Do you
but he
have
was
that kind
like,
of faith?
yeah. So that's the thing. Yeah, you have to be.
Right.
So I think you have to be
A
very.
lot.
You want to be like Joseph. Are you prepared to face persecution from your own people?
Yeah.
Are you prepared to be separated from them and thrown somewhere where you have no sort of affiliation with anybody? Are you ready to be tried
Yeah.
by people and then being lied?
Are you ready to be chased down because of someone close to you?
That makes me
You ready
think
to
about
die?
some of the songs that we sing.
Yes.
I want to be tried by
Right.
fire.
Like
purified.
Give me a heart like thine. Do we want that?
That's what I'm saying.
I give myself away. I surrender all
Like
to
if
you.
if you really think about those
Them
songs
song
in
you're
context, like
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the waters. Are you ready for that kind of faith?
that's what I'm saying.
Not
like,
to say that you shouldn't aspire, but when you
but
ask for these things,
but understand. You need to
understand what is
understand
gonna
like what
happen.
it's gonna take.
because when you speak into the atmosphere, it's not just God alone that's listening to you. It's not.
It's not him alone.
So when you
yeah.
say these things, just as how with Job, Satan came before the Lord and they had a conversation about Job, and then he went out and did what he
But
did.
you know what the Lord did say? I consider my virgin Job.
Yeah.
Because
He
knew-
had confidence.
he had confidence. But the thing is, the thing is that somebody else could speak about Job.
It's
Nobody never tell. Job never said to the devil, brother, you know me.
exactly. Job never
You
said.
know me, man.
Job never said, "You
I'm
don't
a
know me.
righteous
You know
man."
me."
Job was like,
I'm a righteous man,
Exactly.
I'm a just man.
God was able to vouch for him and say, "Yeah, you can't touch that brother there. Like
Yeah.
you can do what you think you can do, but
can't kill him. You can't kill
you
him.
can't. Yeah."
You can't kill him.
I must say, try your best. I must say, try your best.
Yeah. So like,
So be careful what you're saying. Not to say that you can't proclaim or can't aspire and speak life into your
But
situation.
understand.
But understand when you say certain things, it's
Careful
not just
what you
God
wish
alone
for.
listening to you. So when certain tests and certain trials come upon you, sometimes it has nothing at all to do with what you have done in the past. Sometimes it's a test from God to find
True.
out if you're really about that smoke.
If you're really about that life,
Are you really about that life? Are you standing on business, 10 toes down? Are you ready for this?
10 toes never fold.
All right.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
just to circle back, if you're wanting of a Boaz
You gotta be a root.
husband, you got to be a Proverbs 31 wife for real.
Got to be.
Because Boaz was no ordinary man.
No, he wasn't.
That's why everybody wanted, or that's why everyone wants a husband like that. but he was no ordinary man. Just like any other else.
Any other else?
Yeah, Jamaican terms. We're not August, right? Just like anybody that wanted is vice versa, but really the wife we're talking about. If you want someone of good standing, if you want something good, like the Jamaican proverbs say, your nose have to run. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
There's something has to show for it.
For you to be deserving of something.
Exactly.
Of that caliber.
For real.
Like a relationship with God, you can't just repent and call it a day.
Yeah, it's not gonna just drop in your lap, so.
Mm-hmm.
Drop in your lap, perhaps.
Breathe and live the word.
Yeah, and deny yourself.
24/7.
Daily, what you call it?
25/8.
Starving of the flesh.
Yeah,
And
that's
feeding
a hard
the
thing
spirit.
to do.
On a regular, consistent basis. Can not be every day, but the intention is very important. It's very important, Yeah, it's very, very important. I think we're done.
Huh?
I think we're done.
Yeah, thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
Yeah.
Our little
just
rap
one
and
thing.
yap.
So check your IG bio today.
Yeah.
Look over that.
Yeah.
Ask yourself.
Yeah.
Or ask your husband, rather. Say, babe, am I Proverbs 31?
Yeah.
Or ask yourself.
And as you even said about the bios, are you really putting God first? Because it's always God first in the bio. Are you really putting God first?
Virgin, I've seen some God first, and then I see a picture with a bottom, and I'm like, cool.
Some
That
outrageous feeds.
That verse in your bio, do you really understand what it means?
Everybody loves a Jeremiah 29:11.
That's tattoo on your body. Not shaming anybody that have no tattoo. If you have a tattoo, big up on yourself. But that verse, do you know what it really means? The one that's on your lock screen, the one that you write up on your desk at work, the ones that you always say so cliche. Think about those verses, what they really mean, what you're saying, what you're asking God for.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching another episode of This Great Space. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Get the videos out there. Jesus Christ, the way.
Wait, remember, guys, to click the link that we have. It's probably in our highlights by now with the Q&A, because our next episode is gonna be the Q&A. So ask your questions. You want to show them your Crocs?
Oh, I was stretching.
Oh, okay.
I was stretching.
Ask your questions. We will answer them. Have an entire video dedicated to that Q&A. And remember, it's our birth month. So stay tuned with us towards the end of the month. Our birthday is the 31st. TJS turns 1. So keep liking, keep subscribing, keep doing all the stuff Brandon says at the end of the video.
Do it. Yeah. Yes, Jesus Christ, the way, the truth, and the life. Get to know him today. And if you don't know him,
you're moving mad.
You're moving mad, bruv. Thank you guys all for watching this Grace Space. Bye, guys.